What's going on, everyone? How about them Packers? Micah Parsons, beast, as advertised. Super happy with the W today. Got to listen on the radio, even here in Japan, so I was super excited to listen to the game today. But actually, this video, we're going to do something completely different from that. We're going to talk about 1980 Calby, which is a set that I've been really getting into collecting recently. My last project, well, it's ongoing, but it's almost done, and it's kind of come to a halt. So my 1973 Batback Calby run of 91 cards, I only need four more to complete that run. But the four cards that I need are pretty rare, so I just don't really expect to get them anytime soon. So I'm kind of looking at other things, and then 1980 Calby really captured my attention for various reasons. So I'm gonna give you guys like a little breakdown of 1980 Calby and show some cards and just a primer on the set. So 1980 Calby is a pretty interesting set. Obviously, it's the first set of the 80s, and basically it's kind of weird in a couple ways. One thing is that it's a pretty scarce set. I would say that 1980 Calby is basically the 1980 cards are probably the scarcest of the regular general issue Calbys from the 70s and 80s. So that's not including, the short prints and the regional issues that, populated uh, numerous sets in the 70s and 80s, but we're just talking like standard issue cards. I think these are the rarest Calbys that are just the regular cards being hard to come by. And I'm not really sure why that is. I have some theories. This was 1980, so in the context of Japanese baseball, the Giants, the Yomiuri Giants, their V9 dynasty of 9 consecutive championships was over. Sadaharu O was in his last year as a player, so 1980 was O's last year as a player. So O was in middle age, and the Giants were not what they were, in the 60s and 70s. And there might have just been like kind of a comparative lack of interest in pro baseball at the time, maybe a little lull. I'm not really sure, but the 1980 cards are pretty scarce. But what's also intriguing about them is that they actually come in two sizes. So this set comes in two sizes, a larger size and a smaller size. And I've gone 3.5 minutes without showing any cards, so I'll do that now. But here are two versions of card number 94 of Hideji Kato, and this is the same card in the two different sizes. So I'll explain the difference between these. So the smaller size card is what would go on to become standard for Calby during the 1980s. And the card on the right is what is the standard card size for the 70s. So in 1980, Calby decided to change the size of the cards, and I'm not really sure why that is. It might have been a cost-cutting measure, just to make the cards smaller. But the first two series of 1980 Calby, which is a set of, I think, 200 something cards. Oof, I probably should have refreshed myself on that before I started this video, but It's less than 300 cards. It's not a very big set. I think it's 290 cards maybe. But the first two series came in the large size. So throughout the 1970s, Calby cards were all this size. And then in the 1980s, they became this size. But 1980 was the year that transitioned. So actually, Series 2 of 1980 Calby comes in two card sizes. The larger size and the smaller size. So they decided to change the size of the cards when the second series or second block, to use the Japanese terminology, came out. So this set actually has two different sized cards within the same set. So I'm going to break it down a little further. So the Series 1 cards, those cards only came in, and I want to say that's cards numbered 1 through 45 maybe. These cards only came in large size. So when 1980 Calby was released, they were still going with the size that they had gone with throughout the 70s. But then they kind of abruptly decided to change the size. So, for example, pardon me, been a little sick the last few days. These are two Block 1 or Series 1 1980 Calby cards. Number 26 and number 29. This is card number 26. And this is an American player, actually. This is Mike Reinbach for the Tigers. And this is none other than Phillies legend Charlie Manuel. So this is probably actually the rarest Charlie Manuel card in existence that's not, numbered or something like that, I would reckon. So these are both, as I said, these are both Series 1 or Block 1. Now, Block 1 only came in large size, but there were some differences. So these cards, as you can see, they have slightly different backs. So the Charlie Manuel card on the left, as you can see, has a bat and ball border around it, and the Mike Reinbach card is blank without the border. And basically, every card in the first series or first block, the first print of the first series came with the border, and then the subsequent print, the second print, or maybe however many they made after that, came without the border. So the Mike Reinbach card is from a subsequent print, not the first print, but the Charlie Manuel card is from the first print. Now, from my own experience, just based on my own experience, basically whether or not a Block 1 card comes with the border or not does not affect the card's value. It doesn't affect the card's value or scarcity. I would say these cards with the border or without the border are pretty much equally scarce, and it doesn't really affect their value very much. But it's a cool thing to have kind of little variations there. So these are both Block 1 or Series 1 cards in the set. I think the first 45 cards constituted the first series in the 1980 Calby set. So, of course, again, while this Mike Reinbach card is from a subsequent print, second print, or later, and has the blank back. It also comes with the bat and ball border, but this one just doesn't have it. And similarly, this Charlie Manuel also comes in a blank without the border, but I have the first print. So that's that. Now, just to refresh, with this set, as you know, so as I said, they came in two sizes, and starting with block one, that these cards, I think again maybe 1 through 45, they only come in the 70s size, the large size. That had been standard throughout the 70s. So these two cards you can only find in large size. So you can't find them in smaller size. They only come in large size. But then starting with Series 2 or Block 2, that's when you can start finding the cards in two sizes. So I believe this was cards 46 through 95, maybe in the 200-something card set. So I want to illustrate that here. So this is, as you can see, the same card. This is card number 94 of Hideji Kato, and this is a Series 2 or Block 2 1980 Calbee, and I have them in both of the sizes, the old large size from the 70s and the newer 80s smaller size. And actually, the smaller size I pulled myself from a pack recently, so it's a pack fresh card. Pretty cool because these are scarce, and they're both, but particularly the small one, in immaculate condition. So that's pretty cool. But so as you can see, basically starting with Series 2, 46 through 95, I think, Calbee decided to change the size of the cards. So they did that, and actually, this makes the large size 1980 Calbee Series 2 cards particularly quite rare. And so it must be because they probably decided to change the size of the cards pretty quickly when Series 2 was coming out. So this card, for example, is very, very scarce. You're just not going to see it. The smaller version would be easier to come by. So they started rolling out the smaller size cards, but some of the cards in Series 2 got larger versions, like Series 1, but at this point, they're very hard to come by. So here is two versions of the same card. Pretty cool that I have both of them in very nice condition, with really nice gloss. I like that. So as you can see, also just another thing, between the Block 1 and Block 2, or Series 1 and Series 2 Calbee large. And I should say that basically what my collecting goal is I am trying to collect all of the 1980 Calbee large cards. So that would be cards numbered 1 through 95, the first two series. And those cards come in large size. Of course, Series 1, like the card on the left, only come in large size, and then Series 2 come in large and smaller size, but the large size is rarer. So this is actually going to be pretty difficult for me to complete, just because, these Series 2 or Block 2 1980 Calbee cards are quite rare. And I actually have almost all of the Block 1 cards, but very few of the Block 2 cards. But that's what the goal is. I'm trying to get all the large ones, so that would be Series 1 and Series 2. And so as you can see, a slight difference between Series 1 and Series 2. They tried to, they're a little different. Well, I don't know why I say they tried to, but the Series 1 cards, as you can see, the Reinbach card on the left is a completely blank back, so it has no text on the front, whereas the Series 2 cards have this text on the front. And the Japanese says something like Clash Certain Victory Series. It's kind of that particularly Japanese form of dramatic that's a little hard to uh, put into English and have it not be kind of awkward and silly. And then it also has the player's name and team on the bottom. So, whereas Series 1 blank and Series 2 has the title, the little headliner, and player information on the front. Another note, if you're following me, the Block 2 cards, the Series 2 cards, they only come in the blank bag. So they do not come with a bat and ball border like the Series 1 cards can. All of the 1980 Calbee large cards, they only have a blank back like this. Whereas like the Series 1 cards, well, this is the actual Series 2 card with a blank back. Whereas the Series 1 cards can come in the bat and ball border or the blank back. The Series 2 cards only come in blank, no border back, I should say. And the the smaller size ones also, of course, come in blank back only. Now, there is more about 1980 Calbee. The intrigue and the differences don't stop there. So after Series 2, which would be card 96 until the end of the set, which is 200, I want to say 290 something cards. 296 maybe. I think it's 296. So from Series 1, Series 3 on to the end, those cards only come in the small size. So no more large cards that ended with Series 2. I do have an example of a card such as this, and that is this one, card number 201. And this one is pretty cool because this is Giants great Isao Shibata. I also pulled this one myself. But this is card number 201. So this one does not come in a large size. If it's after Series 2, I don't remember which series exactly, but it's after 2. So it does not come in a large size, small size only. Here is the back, and as you can see, the back is a little different. So from Series 3 onward, all of the cards that only come in small size, from number 96 to the end of the set, 296, they come in this back with the team logo, up there, slightly different from the first two series, which had a back like this. Now, there's one more little diversion or idiosyncrasy among the backs. So, the Series 3 or Block 3, actually, there's another little variation in the back. So, the first print of Series 3 came in a black ink back. So this one is the expected magenta of the set, but the first printing of Series 3 came in black ink. So basically, I have a second or later print of this number 201, but you can also picture, well, actually, sorry, because it's confusing. This card is not from Series 3. So this only came in magenta ink, but picture a back like this in black ink, and if the card was from the first printing of Series 3, then it came in black ink, but everything else looked the same. So I'm not sure if you're still with me. This is a little convoluted. I do need to get a black ink Series 3 card, kind of to have it represented in my collection. I am not actively collecting 1980 Calbys outside of the large. So that would be the large cards from Series 1 and 2. So all Series 1 cards, which were all large, and then the large versions of Series 2. So all of this is a little bit confusing. If you want to kind of get a refresher, if it's not clear, I'm actually doing a write-up and translation series on 1980 Calby. So you can check out my website, Nippon Baseball Retro. So I'll link it in the description. So if you want a refresher about what I said, or just look at various cards in the set because I'm trying to collect all the large ones, you can check it out there. So I'll leave the link in the description. And yeah, so that's what I got for you guys. As always, thanks for watching. Peace.